Hey everybody, it's Harry from Slappy Daddy BBQ, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue so you can spread barbecue love. I'm doing a viewer request episode today. My viewer said, Harry, I noticed that when I watch the briskets cooked in various restaurant videos, the brisket is always done without any trim on the silver skin or the fascia. So does the silver skin and the fascia being staying on affect the taste of the brisket at the end? Now, that's a really good question. And I have always trimmed my fascia so that I can get my rub to touch the protein. But in this episode, I'm going to do a little experiment based on your request to cook a brisket half with the fascia on and half with the fascia off. And we'll do a taste comparison to see which results in a better brisket. I've given the brisket kind of a boat trim, and I'm noticing that there's a lot of silver skin and fascia on this side, all the way down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the part that has the less fascia off here, and then we're going to cook about like maybe this piece here without the fascia, and this piece with the fascia, so we can see if there's any difference in the taste. So I think the line kind of runs this way, like that. Now I can cook two briskets, obviously, but I think the two briskets will result in a test with two animals. So I think I prefer to test with one animal. I'm going to do one cut right down the middle here. So we're going to cut this brisket in half, lengthwise. And don't do this at home. This is just for a test. I have the brisket in two halves, like so. This piece, we are going to cook it without any of the silver skin. And I'm going to trim this part off here, like so. So half with silver skin and half no silver skin. And let's see which one we like better. And if this works, I really don't need to trim the silver skin anymore. So let's give it a shot and see if this technique will work. Let's put a little smear with a little bit of Worcestershire. Worcestershire smear so that the rub will stick. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of brisket rub, Texas Brisket Magic rub on it. A little bit of my SCA competition steak rub. Works really well on beef. Has a nice color to it. And I've a lot of umami ingredients in there, like shiitake mushrooms, Worcestershire powder, powdered seaweed, and so on. And then third layer, I'm going to add a little bit of my umami balm, which is a kind of a umami rub that gives it lots and lots of flavor. And we're seasoning the fat cap side. Now we're going to flip it over. Do the other side now. And while I'm at it, let's do the sides a little bit here. Time of judgment, and I cooked all my professional career trimming off the silver skin because I'm a competitor. But if you are running a restaurant and you're doing it for home, let's see how it compares against the one that has not had the silver skin or the fascia trimmed. Perfect tenderness. Look at the beautiful color here. Take a bite. Super delicious, beefy, smoky, just like a good brisket. I'm going to eat this piece now. On this side also had the fascia, so I can get these two areas with the fascia. You can see how beautiful the drape is. You can see the accordion drape like that. Perfect accordion drape. And it's so tender. Let's pull it apart. It comes apart. Perfect tenderness. It's a 9. Paco. It's a 9 on a KCBS scale. And let me taste it with the fascia. On this side, here's the crust. It's a really good brisket. Okay, so let's now try it with the fascia trimmed on this piece here. I'm going to eat the flat just to be sure that we get the same test. And let me taste it. Wow. Okay. So I'm surprised myself. So the one that has the fascia or silver skin trimmed flavor, I have to admit, just a little bit better. I wouldn't say how much. If I were a competitor, I think it's no doubt I would trim away the silver skin because it's got more flavor. If you did not do it side by side like I'm doing, I don't think I could probably tell. But again, in competition, you win by 4/10,000ths of a point. So if you want to score close to 720 on a KCBS scale, trimming off the fascia is mandatory, in my opinion. But if you're cooking for home and for restaurants, the additional labor running around $27 an hour across the USA with additive and overhead, you couldn't really justify trimming off the silver skin because if you're doing 120 briskets, it's going to be a long time. So conclusion, long story short, if you're cooking for restaurant, for family, for friends at home, you don't need to trim off the fascia. It's pretty darn good. But if you want that extra oomph, maybe I'm guessing 10-15% more oomph and more complexity, more flavor penetration, trimming off the fascia does work. So I've proven this to myself. Your results will vary. So I want you guys to try this and let me know in the comments below what your results are if you want to do an A/B test. Because as a competitor, I'm going to stick to trimming the fascia as I've done for the past 15 years as a professional pitmaster. But your mileage will vary. My taste testing is not complete until I have my esteemed barbecue judge, Mr. Beans, to taste the brisket. So I'll give him the one with the fascia trim and then one without the silver skin trim, and we'll see what Mr. Beans thinks. Ready for Mr. Beans? Mr. Beans, you ready to taste test? All right, folks, the one on my right is going to be the one with the fascia or silver skin trim. The one on the left is no silver skin trim. So let's see if Mr. Beans agrees with my conclusion, right? Ready, Mr. Beans? Oh, he went for the one with the fascia trim. Okay, so 50-50 chance. Mr. Beans went with the one with the fascia trim. So Mr. Beans likes it the way I like it. We trimmed off the fascia because we are competitors and we're going to get a marginally better flavor on the meat when you trim away so that the rub will be able to fuse to the protein through the Maillard reaction, create crust and bark for that thousands of new flavor compounds, resulting in a championship flavor. So your mileage will vary, folks. So try it at home and let me know what you think.